In part 3 of the place value system series, we just talked about basically how to write decimals, and how they fit into the place value scheme and so forth. What we're going to talk about in this is the last video in the place value system series. What we're going to talk about is comparing decimals. And what it ultimately comes down to is knowing how to compare fractions. So let's go with this example. We have to compare, is 0.31 greater than, less than, or equal to 0.74? So let's refer back to the place value grid, which is extremely useful to start off with understanding place value. It's actually crucial to it. So excuse me. So we have what 0.31, and again we learned in part 3 and maybe part 2 that decimals are the same as in the place value system. They're essentially the same as non-decimal numbers. What we're saying is that we have 3 groups, and this, because of its position, we have 3 groups of 1 over 10 and one group of 1 over 100. So in that regard, it's the same as any other number. So we got 0.31 and 0.74. So we're gonna write them like this. Let's see if I can. Okay, right there. So excuse me. What we have to see is 0.31 greater than, less than, or equal to 0.74. So we're gonna bring the focus to this place right here. This is the tenths place. Tenths because this is the place where it's being divided by 10. 1 is being divided by 10. And that's the unit for this place. So looking at the tenths place, again, and kind of understanding what this means, we have 3 groups of 1 over 10 right here. And we have 7 groups of 1 over 10 down here for 0.74. So just for clarity's sake, I'm gonna write this down. So we got 3 over 10 and we have 7 over 10. And so comparing fractions, excuse me, because these two have the same denominator, we can just look at the numerators and see which one is the biggest number. And so, of course, 7 over 10 is the larger number. So that means that this decimal, let me erase some of this stuff. So again, we got 7 over 10 is greater than 3 over 10. And so with that being the case, this decimal is going to be bigger than this decimal. When comparing decimals, unlike this side of the value grid, the largest value is over here. For example, we stopped at 100,000 for this one. So this is the largest value. But going this way on the value grid, 1/10 is the largest. It's the largest number. And so as we go to 1 over 100, 1 over 1,000, these are smaller. So if this right here is greater than this, because this is the largest number of them all, or the largest place value, we don't even have to look at these right here. These don't even matter. So for this one, 0.74, or excuse me, 0.31 is going to be less than 0.74. Let's do one more example. So we have to compare 0.52 is greater than, less than, or equal to 0.54. So again, let's refer back to our place value grid to help us understand how to compare these two. So we have 0.52, excuse me, and 0.54. So unlike our previous example, these two decimals, they start off the same. They both start off with 5. So the tenths place has 2 equal values for these two decimals. Because again, it comes down to comparing fractions. So ignoring the decimal point, this is saying we have 5 groups of 1/10. And down here, we're saying that for this decimal, we have also 5 groups of 1/10. So in a situation like this, if we want to compare these two decimals and see which one is the greater, which one is the lesser, we have to move to now this 100ths place and do the same thing from there. So now we have 2 groups of 1/100, and we have 4 groups of 1/100. So again, it comes down to comparing fractions, so I'll write this for the sake of clarity. 2/100 and 4/100. So again, because these two fractions have the same denominator, all we have to do is look at the numbers on top and see which one is greater. So for this one, of course, 4 is going to be greater than 2. So 4/100 is greater than 2/100. And so what that means is that this decimal right here is greater than this decimal right here. So to go back to the original example, 0.52, this would be, again, less than 0.54.